President Park Geun-hye is in Ethiopia, the first stop of her three-nation Africa trip. She will hold summit talks with Ethiopia's Prime Minister and the President with the goal of enhancing economic ties and cooperation in various fields. For more, let's turn to our presidential office correspondent Song Ji-sun, who is on the line from Addis Ababa. Ji-sun, what can we expect from tonight's summit?
Good evening, Daniel. President Park was greeted by Ethiopian Prime Minister Hailemariam Desalegn upon her landing at the airport on Wednesday. Soon she will sit down for summit talks and later this evening will attend a state banquet at the presidential palace. During their talks, the two leaders are expected to seal dozens of deals in order to enhance economic cooperation in multiple fields. Among the agreements is a planned textile complex covering 100 hectares or 1 square kilometer. The project is expected to give Korean investors a competitive edge in production costs.
Ethiopia has a strong textile industry with production costs that are about 30% lower than in China. Korea's entry into the Ethiopian market will enable us to send exports to the US and the EU without tariffs.
Seoul will also take a greater role in Ethiopian infrastructure projects in transportation, power generation, and urban development. Korea will also offer its knowledge in high value-added sectors like science and technology, energy, e-government, and customs. Another highlight of the President's state visit is the launch of Korea Aid, a new official development aid program offering food, health, and cultural services on wheels.
In our bid to support Africa's ability to achieve its Sustainable Development Goals for 2030, adopted at the UN last year, Seoul will launch Korea Aid, a comprehensive development project that covers healthcare, food and culture, leaving no area left behind.
President Park will also sit down with Ethiopian President Mulatu Teshome, and the two are expected to discuss topics ranging from peacekeeping to defense and climate change. During the talks, Korea and Ethiopia are also expected to share their views on the North Korean nuclear issue, and the outcome could serve as an example for other African countries to implement the UN sanctions on Pyongyang. I'll have more details on those talks when the summit comes to an end later tonight. Back to you in Seoul.